Hello and welcome back, my name is Kater, back in another crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another bullish video here in Pulsechain. Hopefully to answer a big question that I've seen kind of thrown around, people asking me in DMs, etc., especially for the people who are kind of new to this narrative, perhaps new to Pulsechain, which I am very curious. Type down below in the comments, when did you hear about Pulsechain? When did you enter? When was your first buy in Pulsechain? Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. Thank you very much to the highlighted comment, kind of the person who inspired this video. Can't wait for the next video. Please do make one about farming for APRs. Okay, so we're going to be doing exactly just that today. I'm going to show you guys how to calculate APRs from any pairs that you're going to see, and I'm going to do one specifically with a pair that I will recommend in the pLUSD. Okay, so we're going to be doing that as well today. It's kind of a tutorial and very educational, so watch the whole video through. So thank you very much for that, for the comment. And yeah, of course, thank you very much to my DeFi Insiders, the YouTube members who are supporting my small channel. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is the price chart of WPLS. We're just looking at, just a small recap. We did kind of see a nice little bounce back here, ladies and gentlemen, going back to this. No, actually, that's the volume, but slowly touching back the the trend line, the other trend line that I made. But again, I honestly don't really look at WPS that much because either way, it's going to be a slow moving token, and I'm more invested in the deeper side into Pulsechain, obviously, like stuff like PDAI and stuff like that, which obviously will outrun the growth. Because I've seen people who ask me, how many X's do you think Pulse will do? Guys, I don't really think about it. I mean, what can I say? 5x above sacrifice rate, 10x above sacrifice rate. I think that would be amazing. That would be beautiful. But obviously, you can leverage that success in other tokens, even from up and upx. Okay, but that's not the topic of today's video. But it's looking good. Actually, we're looking at a bounce back. Will it be confirmed? Obviously, doing a little bit of a correction. I'm on the 3-day chart, but if we go to the 1-day chart, you can see that, are we going to start having higher lows and higher highs? Will be great to know. But if we go back to the 3-day chart, you can see that we're literally in our first little bar, green bar in the MACD, which is kind of bullish. Okay, I'm very it's anticipating, and you can see the bounce back in the RSI level as well. So looking great. But of course, guys, when you look at it, as an overall today, very red. Okay, but you need to remember, how is the rest of crypto doing as well? Very red. Of course, if Bitcoin goes down by 1.6% and Ethereum by 2.3%, you definitely would expect an even higher, decrease in the alt seasons, because obviously we're kind of like a leverage, and also the fact that Hart's law, really, right? If Ethereum is down, it's going to drag everything else down with it, and Ethereum follows Bitcoin up until hopefully the Bitcoin/Ethereum dominance changes, but we're still not seeing that yet. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about pLUSD versus PDAI. Which one should you go? And I've seen this illustration being passed around on Twitter. PDAI vs pLUSD, no admin keys on both. Good. Future stablecoin. Good. Okay, at least we're both recognizing that. Votable functions, immutable contract, already 5,000x, undervalued, narrative acceptance, narrative unproven, and then 500k holders, 11k holders. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you the answer. Okay, but before I tell you the answer, let's tell you about all the other P stables. Let's tell you about the motivation behind P stables, the fact that this is only possible in Pulsechain. Okay, I mean, what are the other P stables? I mean, I have them right here. Obviously, the number one, well, not the number one. The number one is obviously PDAI. Richard Hart expressed it in so many videos that he likes DAI. That's his favorite stablecoin over in Ethereum because of how it's how it's designed and etc. And of course, he wanted to make his own DAI, or I guess not his own, a truly decentralized, because obviously Richard Hart is really against that fake DeFi, fake decentralized stuff, which is what, honestly, I'm going to assume one of the reasons why he wanted to create Pulsechain, right? It's not just an L1 fork, ladies and gentlemen, it's a system copy of Ethereum that comes with it, every single token, the crypto, world's largest crypto airdrop, this is the only place that makes such narrative possible, and I think people will wake up, people will realize, you know what I mean, like, hey, I can make money from a stablecoin. This is a stablecoin that is truly decentralized. They're going to see what is Pulsechain all about. Of course, the PRC20s as well that comes with it. It's an absolute gold mine. So guys, I mean, PDAI, you guys already know, from here till, which we are very close to all-time high, from here till that $1 level is a nice 176x or 77x. Okay, we are more than halfway through there, and it's looking great. There's reasons why there's this P stable is obviously, you know, the most confident one to reach $1. Okay, now does this mean you should not go to it? Go to pLUSD because it's higher risk and it has way more access to do? Here is my answer. My honest answer, guys, is to make the best of both worlds, or technically 4 worlds, because I'm going to show you guys that there's PUSDC, PUSDT. Now, I understand those two have admin keys and stuff like that, but as Richard Hart, which I'm going to show you guys in a clip, he said, you know, if all of a sudden Tether comes in and then, you know, nullifies the tokens where you can't sell them or etc., they're going to get sued. Okay, at the end of the day, they will get sued because they're not going to just do that out of nowhere. It will at least, you know, be recognized or something like that. But obviously, yes, I understand that's a risk and that makes it less attractable in the whole decentralized thing. But do remember that even if we don't really buy USDT and USDC, if you look at them both, ladies and gentlemen, which is right here, they're, first of all, they're very closely in numbers. In price, 0.003, 0.0032, and now when you compare it, ladies and gentlemen, to PDAI, you can see as well that they're almost exactly the same movements. You know what I mean? Just a slight offset in terms of the price. PDAI is just slightly more offset, and that has something to do with probably the fact that the liquidity has been added slightly delayed to, you know, PDAI, etc. And of course, guys, this is thanks to the Hart's law. Okay, if we look at, for example, here, usually I actually would rather use Dex tools for this. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, actually it's fine. You can see, for example, ATROPA, 13 million in liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thickest LP, not with WPLS, which actually, in my opinion, if you're a dev, you're planning of, you know, launching a token and stuff like that, honestly, you want to have your majority LP to be paired up with something else that's more likely to go up in excess, okay? Less with WPLS. Okay, I would make it a thin liquidity. You want to make majority liquidity with something else, such as even PDAI ATROPA is a beautiful one. Teddy Bear, obviously, or, you know, whatever. I think PDAI is the best one to pair it to because that's the one that's possibly going to most likely will go to $1, right? And if that goes to $1, that's, you know, crazy. It will increase that, you know, thickness of that LP. You know, super interesting because, of course, guys, if you didn't know, you know, it's kind of roughly calculated by 414 Dev, which, by the way, I've been watching his live streams. He live streamed, by the way. I'm going to try to remember to put that link in the description. Shout out to him. He was doing like a C# coding, no, C# to Solidity coding. Pretty interesting. Let's not go on tangents. But I was going to say, the ATROPA dev predicted because of how thick the bonding of PDAI and ATROPA are, by the time PDAI reaches $1, ATROPA will be around $30 to $40 per token. Okay, ATROPA is a hugely underslept token, guys. Honestly, you know, it's beautiful. Hart's law is real. You know what I mean? It's such a great concept. The whole liquidity bonding, things move up and down in tandem. It's kind of like anchors and leverages. It's beautiful. I like it. Pulsechain is making the best out of it. We have people like Sunny who understand liquidity, 414 Dev who understands the whole ecosystem and how to attract the arbitrage bots. What a greater, name me a greater place to be in, with Richard Hart, the guy who already made millionaires and like a 50 billion plus token. He's already rich. He wanted to make another great invention, but this one is here basically to last because it's not just a token, it's a whole platform, guys. He doesn't need to actually run it anymore. He doesn't need to do anything. It's already working. It's 100% uptime, unlike, you know, GameStop, by the way. When Roaring Kitty went on a live stream today, I think GameStop, they like paused the trading a few times here and there, which is like, you know, that's not really acceptable. That's not what, you know, being decentralized about. And obviously, you know, these are that's the stock market. It's not really decentralized. It's the furthest away from that. It's using order books. It's centralized. Not anyone can be a, you know, market maker or liquidity provider, basically. And there's a lot of room for manipulation because the order book is kind of, you know, not really transparent. More opaque than transparent because you can't really track things, I believe. So yeah, it feels good to be in crypto, by the way. But yeah, due to the fact of the liquidity bonding, you can see that there's 13.4 million. And now if we go to USDT and we do the exact same, I'm going to assume there's going to be also a thick liquidity. I'm going to assume this one. Okay, USDT doesn't have that much in terms of liquidity. Let me quickly double check. Yeah, but I'm going to assume this is to do with DAI. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's DAI. But my main point, ladies and gentlemen, is that of course this is due to Richard Hart's due to Hart's law, where those two tokens are moving literally together as PDAI goes up. So therefore, honestly, by the time, and this is what ATROPA said himself, by the time PDAI reaches $1, PUSDT, PUSDC will both as well reach there at the same time. Now, are they going to peg is a different story, but this is why, honestly, the answer to your question, guys, should you be in PDAI, should you be in PLUSD? Yes, one has way more access to do, but one is also very, very risky. For them to burn that, supply down, it will take incredible amounts of effort. Now, are we moving towards that? Yes, we are. We have started burning, and actually, if you look at it here in Gold Pulse, you can see, first of all, let's check out, pLUSD. If you scroll down here, 1.3, ladies and gentlemen, 1.3. Yesterday, it was at 1%. Today is at 1.3%, which is beautiful. It's burnt with PDAI. Okay, we scroll down, 0.82% is burnt. I'm going to leave both their links in the description, both the burn addresses in the description, so that you guys can double check. Again, I'm going to show you guys the receipts. This is why I want to, making this video. I didn't want to just tell you guys XYZ. I'm actually showing you guys numbers, and we're going to show you guys in a second what are the sacrifice wallets. Now, you've heard this so many times, people saying, 107,000 Ethereum longing, sitting in Ethereum waiting. When Ethereum gets above, like, let's say 10,000 or 7,000, 10,000, whatever, Richard Hart will then bridge it back to PDAI, etc., and then he will collateralize it using the MakerDAO vault, and then that's gonna peg it. That's gonna, turn on the pegging functions, etc. But a lot of people are saying, and a lot of we've been hearing that a lot, and one thing to say it. I'm gonna obviously also prove it, because I think it's very important for you guys to see this by your own eyes. So this is what I did. Basically, thank you to OJ Faraday. I found his tweet. I had to dig months worth of tweets, and I made like this bundle. And I don't think I can really, maybe I could actually share it. But basically, I made these bundles because obviously I don't have like a official DBank or minted account. I had to separate it in 4 sacrifice bundles. But you can see, ladies and gentlemen, these are the sacrifice funds. These are all the sacrifice wallets. From obviously the Pulsechain sacrifice and the Pulsex sacrifice, and then you can see I have actually added it all together. 98,000 Ethereum here in this bundle, 51,000 Ethereum there in this bundle, 20,000 Ethereum there, and then here 4,000. It literally adds up to around 172 or 173,000 Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. So everything adds up. This is absolutely exciting stuff, and of course you can see a lot of those tokens, ladies and gentlemen. For example, not this one. Yeah, for example, this one is holding 500 million worth of PDAI. So it's very, very clear, ladies and gentlemen, okay, that PDAI is kind of the Richard Hart favored P stable to reach $1. It's the chosen one by him, which gives us a huge, confidence in this. And by the way, like, if you still think that you are late to this, guys, if you scroll down and then let's say, you wanted to, I don't know, let's say make $100,000, okay, using just this token, by the way, just this token, it will cost you $553. Okay, if you really think about that, guys, that's pretty sick. Like, that's a lot of X's right there. That's life-changing money. $100,000 that, you can step a foot into the real estate industry, start making passive income, like, you can do a lot of things. Start your own business, you put your deposit to buy a house, etc., a lot of things, guys. Pay off your debts, etc., depending on what your position is. This is beautiful, guys. Okay, and at the same time, pLUSD is amazing. It's been awakened. People are realizing, hey, let's turn this from from the mint function and stuff like that, where they literally stopped the minting, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely amazing. That is all thanks to the community effort of pLUSD, literally turning the tides from, hey, it's being hyperinflated, to now you can no longer inflate it, to now we are burning. We've literally not just stopped, but we are now progressing into burning the supply, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely amazing. And of course, it's very liquid, it's beautiful, which is kind of the next part of the video, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into that, I urge you guys to follow both pLUSD and PDAI, ladies and gentlemen. And we're gonna finally end before I start with the whole liquidity side of things and how you can calculate the APRs, because I will be doing a quick tutorial on how why this LP pair right here, the pLUSD stablecoin with Pulse, is probably one of the best ones to enter right now in terms of, you know, safe tokens to be in, because obviously it has a huge upside. Yes, you'll have impermanent loss, so you'll make less gains in terms of that, but I think you'll definitely make more. You'll outweigh from the yield that you'll be making every single day, because it's V2, guys. Obviously there's no farms here. We can double check it in a second if you want to check out the farms. You know, these are basically the only farms that you can make, that you can enter, that will pay you in INC and yields. Aside from that, if you enter those farms, do not expect anything else. It'll pay only in INC, and these are the APRs. Okay, so do not supply anything that's version 1 that's not listed in this page. Okay, simple as that. Go to PulseX, go to earn farms, and then there you go. Which also, by the way, I've made a video before where I entered this farm and entered that farm. I'm definitely going to be entering either outside the video or in this video the stablecoin ones with WPLS, because of their APRs. You can see 81, 77, 70, and 77 right here. Guys, those are actually pretty decent APRs if you really think about them. Because if you think about how risky it is, WPLS, I think the only way from here is literally up. So I look at this and it's basically like super safe. The fact that the other half of it is literal stablecoin, all those other three, and it's the highest APRs, I'm super confident to just keep putting more and more money into this up until, you know, it's amazing supplies, amazing passive income. So for example, if you put in $1,000, you know, every single day, that's $2. Yeah, you know, but do remember, this is $2 in INC. So imagine if INC does a 10x. It's at like what, $2.50 right now. A 10x from here is just 25. People are thinking about it breaking triple digits, okay, which is like a 33x, right? So imagine in a year time, if I invested my 1,000 into just yielding, which is super low risk, not financial advice, but it is super low risk, actually, factually speaking, that's going to be 1.2k in INC, right? But imagine if that did a 10x, or if it did a 30x plus, that'll be 12,000. That'll be 36,000 plus. That's the power of these farms. Don't look at these APRs and expect, oh, that's not 1% a day. Don't be desensitized by these, you know, Ponzonomic dApps that we're all kind of used to, ROI dApps from the last bull run especially. This is great, guys. You know what I mean? This is greater than any bank will ever give you. It's greater than any of other tokens that are super risky. You know, tokens that, you know, like those farms that, yes, they have 300% APR. But what token are you actually supplying to? Is a token that will probably die down, etc., or self-inflate. So many red flags. So it's not just the APR that you need to look at. Look at, okay, the impermanent loss factor. Look at what's the yield will be. It's paying an INC. INC, I think it's going to do above a 10x in this bull run easily, right? I'm not financial advice. I'm not giving guarantees. Therefore, this is a beautiful place for me to park up my money. So going back, ladies and gentlemen, that's my answer, by the way. My answer is to be in all of the P stables. I think it's, you know, you're going to spread your investments, diversify. PDAI is the highest confidence, but yes, it has the least amount of X's to go, even though 170X is amazingly high. That's a lot of X's. Then got PUSDC, PUSDT. Again, those are, you know, again, I think by the time PDAI reaches $1, those two will as well reach it, and they're basically half the price of PDAI. So really, it's up to you if you wanna go into PUSDT, because you'll have twice the amount to go to $1 basically, right? So you can see it from here. It's 0.005, 0.003. So not half price, but you know, roughly 60 you know, 33% less or something like that. And then you got pLUSD, pLUSD, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my Google Chrome. Okay, everything's fine. But you got pLUSD. You know, obviously the riskiest of them all because it has a lot of excess to go, but it's super bullish. We have a few milestones here and there that I'm really looking forward to cross. Things such as, hey, let's break, you know, past all-time high, basically right here, which is I think the level that they talked about. That's their target or something, 0.001, which is crazy amount of excess away, ladies and gentlemen. Like if we tried to do that right now, I'm just gonna try to time that. I think it's here, for example. You know, it's basically 1,000. Is it 1,000x? Well, it's 100x back to all-time high, roughly. So we have a lot of milestones, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, you know, for it to flip the WPLS, I think it's the biggest milestone, which is absolutely amazing. So you put this on a log, you put it here, and then where it flips WPLS is a 104x away. So I think that would be absolutely amazing as well. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that moment. Again, I think we are definitely taking one step at a time. You know, we don't need to make huge strides. It's all good. We can literally improve 1% at a time. I think pLUSD held up very, very strong, even when the whole Pulse chain was on low volume, was on you know, consecutive red weeks. pLUSD still, you know, did really well. It did like a 30x from the bottom. It's beautiful. It made a lot of people money. They exited, you know what I mean? And now we have fresh new capital, redistribution of tokens to the people who deserve it more. It feels great, guys. You know what I mean? It feels great to be in Pulse chain. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, going back to it, supplying liquidity, back to that comment that the guy talked about, farming for APRs, right? So for example, today, I want to, what makes a pair super attractive to supply liquidity is the liquidity to volume ratio. So the more volume than liquidity, the better. Basically, right? You want less volume, so that means less people you're competing with, and it's like less diluted, basically, right? And then more volume, basically. So you want to look into the volume to liquidity ratio. We're going to calculate exactly that today. What you want to do, Pulse X, because obviously this one is in Pulse X V2, right? Remember, it's not V1 because it's not listed. It might be on V1. There is a pair for V1, but do not supply to that because you won't make any yield. It's not listed in those farms. That's the only way to make V1 makes yield in INC, V2 makes yield in the token itself, the LP token itself, and it's auto compounding. So it's up to you if you want to use the compound interest to your advantage, which I think I would do in this case. So V2, we're going to click on add liquidity, and then after that, we're going to take this pLUSD, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to paste it here, and then we can paste it, okay? For example, we have to change that to basically V2, not V1, remember that, okay? V2, ladies and gentlemen. And then, for example, today, I'm just going to say I want to supply 400,000 Pulse, which is $20, $20, and it tells you how much share of the pool I will have, okay? I mean, you know what? I can even go 1 million. Sure, why not? Or actually, I can even go... no, too tempting, but no. Let's keep it. Let's just provide $100 or 104 to be exact. You can see 52, okay? What you need to do is click on LUSD. You have to enable it. Approve it. But before we do that, and of course, if you want to simulate how much you would make, okay, first of all, you want to look into, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I really like LUSD, because of its consistent volume. The past days, the past 24 hours, it made 130K in liquidity, in volume. If we look at the other days, you can see here, I'm looking at this side in the top left, by the way. So let me quickly restart that. Yeah, you can see I'm looking here in the volume side. So you can see here this today, or this current day is 104 so far, and then yesterday 145, 265, and then 700, which is pretty sick, etc., etc. So it's actually good, consistent. It's above 100K in volume per day, which is really good. That's what you want because it's just around that 1-to-1 ratio. So how do you calculate the APR for this? Very good question. So remember that number, $130,000 in the past 24 hours in volume. So what we're going to do now is look at this number, the share of the pool, and we're going to need this number, the 0.22%. We're going to bring up a calculator, ladies and gentlemen, all right? And we're going to do Remember that number, $130,000 in volume times 0.0022. Where did I get that number? I just turned this into a non-percentage number. Okay, so I moved the decimal points twice. So now this is the number right here. This is the number of volume, the number of yield generated in the past 24 hours, which is $286 worth of yield from the volume. Okay, and now after that, we're going to times that with my share of the pool, because of course now it's going to get distributed to everyone proportionally. So we're going to need to turn this number into a non-percentage number. So times 0.0007. Okay, remember I had to move this decimal place twice. This is why we have 3 zeros here instead of just one. And then we times that, and that means with my money right now, with my $104, I would have made 20 cents in the last, whatever day this is, in the last 24 hours, which is, what, it's not bad. We're going to calculate exactly how much would that be. So what we're going to do, divide that by the total amount of value provided, $104, and times that by 100 to turn it into a percentage, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your daily ROI, which is 0.19% daily ROI. Now, of course, you want to calculate the APR, times it by 365, and that's a 70% yearly APR, which, you know what, it's actually not bad. It's kind of really, really similar with these, but do remember, ladies and gentlemen, do remember that's just for the past 24 hours, okay? There's other things that comes into play that might make this worth it. If it was on the day where the volume was on 761,000, you'd probably be making, instead of 20 cents, you're probably going to make, roughly $3, for example. Or no, sorry, not $3, like around $1. And there's a day, this one, where it had the huge spike, where it's 4.3 million. That's probably you making around, I don't know, I'm going to assume $5, something like that, which is not bad. The second greatest, and it's kind of a wonder of the world, is the compound interest, right? It will auto compound unless you, for example, if I confirm the supply, it will auto compound, ladies and gentlemen, right? So unless you sell off your dividends, you can keep it there and it will auto compound for you. So actually you're growing your position, your LP position, and you never know, one day it's going to, keep increasing your daily ROI as your LP position is growing. But that's completely up to you, because technically now you're exposing your daily yield to the impermanent loss as well. Completely up to you. But now if I go back to liquidity, or click on all, and I click refresh, the transaction is still pending. I'm going to give it a few seconds. But guys, honestly, if you appreciated that, how you can calculate your APR, give the video a like. Follow me on my Twitter. And I believe I did not play this clip. And here's the clip that I was talking about on why Pulsechain is amazing, why P stable is such a smart idea. But quickly as well, before that, it's still pending, so let's watch the clip instead.
An interesting question for you. This will be fun. This will be really fun. Pulsechain is fucking interesting because it does things that have never been done before. I think this will blow your mind. People think that Tether is worth $1 because it often trades for $1 on exchanges. But we know that for a while, Tether was fractionally reserved because they had about $600 million seized from a bank.
Right.
And who knows what the real fractional reserve is? Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah.
So, but it still traded near $1. And then that makes you wonder, what if it was 100% fractionally reserved? Would it still trade for $1? At what point might, I don't know. So when Pulsechain forks Tether, which has admin keys, they could just invalidate all the coins. But their users would probably sue them for doing that because I think that those Tether, even though they're not going to be redeemable for anything, I think they're going to have a value on Pulsechain. I just have no idea what it is. So it's going to be so crazy to see whether stable coins that have no backing at all actually have a value and what that value is on this new chain.
Oh, and it's going to be an interesting experiment.
Yeah,
it will be. And this was the bit that kind of got me, was when somebody was saying that, hey, they're going to, they're going to duplicate the entire state of Ethereum, duplicate all of the ERC20 tokens, and suddenly you're going to have double. And I was like, well, wait a minute, you're not really going to have double. You're going to have, if you've got 1,000,
we'll have different parameters,
Tether
right?
ERC20, and you've now got 1,000 PRC20 Tether. those PRC20 tether are going to have an entirely different value to the ERC21 for the reason you just described.
For sure, yeah, 100%.
It's a totally different price discovery, and because the PRC20 tokens are not used anywhere else, they're going to be worthless. And then,
I don't think so.
That's going to be the problem.
I don't like. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I got some more cool shit coming. I'll tell you about.
Well, you may well do. Everybody does, but
yeah.
That cool that he's talking about is, of course, guys, leveraging Ethereum itself. You saw that in the sacrifice funds. What a concept, what a time to be in crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, things like PDAI, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually crazy. PDAI, being in PDAI, pLUSD, again, really put that in your mind and understand this, that this is the only place that this narrative can be possible. Like, honestly, what else can be said? Guys, all 4P stables to $1. That's the answer of today's video. I hope you guys learned something new about the LP supply. And there you go. That's the LP supply, by the way. And you can see if I clicked on remove, it will tell you how much I have. So this is the number that you need to kind of save it on an Excel sheet. And you can come tomorrow in 24 hours, right? And you see how much did it increase by. And then you can sell the difference if you want. So you can click on detailed, or you can just, give a percentage that you want to sell, or click on detail and actually sell it, right? Or this one here, for example, you see it says I have 2,000 something LP tokens. I can just sell, for example, only 530, depending on whatever it is, and it will, distribute it back, separate the token, dual asset token. So that's how it is, guys. What a great, being a Pulsechain is such a perfect chain as well for people who want to learn to supply liquidity. You know what I mean? It's so cheap. It costs you less than a cent to start a position, end the position, retrieve your yield, add more yield, etc. So yeah, aside from that, guys, I'm going to end the video there. I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know in the comments below, what other videos do you guys want me to make tomorrow? I think I'm going to have a super bullish video about a new project. So yeah, you want to watch the whole video through. Is there going to be an airdrop? That's what you get for reaching the end of the video. So thank you very much. Have a good day, guys. Take care.